punctuations, I'm just skimming through again the slides. Please let me know if there's any doubt that you people have in any of the punctuation slides. Mobin, is there any other doubt? You're still raising your hand?
No, ma'am. I just forgot to know it.
I hope you've all read the slides. Shall I assume you've read the slides carefully?
Yes, ma'am. I have gone through those.
Yes.
Please go through the slides again and check in case you have any doubt. Any doubt till slide number 65? That is this slide that's being presented.
Yeah, actually, the hyphens, I always miss out on the hyphen. Can you just expand a little more on how
So
we
when
use?
we're talking about hyphens, basically these are punctuations when which are used to join words together. Like the 3-year-old child. We often use a hyphen even at the end of an explanatory statement. Like we're trying to explain some examples are as follows, and then either we use a colon or we use a hyphen, wherein we are trying to actually mark there that these are the examples thereafter. Now, when we are talking about, let's say, the 3-legged animals, or when we are talking about, let's say, out of the boundary kind of words, which, which are there together, joined together, but then separate by syllables using a single word. So that hyphen is supposed to be there. Still in doubt?
Like, ma'am, cooperation, something like that.
Yes.
Actually, ma'am, the previous slide. Yeah. No, which comes with lizards.
Sorry, which comes with the?
This one, apostrophe. So this also I always have a doubt, because usually the apostrophe we will put to like
there are two options. Number one option is placing it before an S. The second option is placing it after the S. So when do we use it? When do we use it before the S? Any idea?
If it is singular.
Say the ownership.
The singular option. The subject is singular. The lizard's tail will grow back. I'm talking about one lizard, and I'm talking about all the lizards. The lizard's tail will grow back. That's
all the lizards.
My subject is singular. I'm talking about one singular lizard whose tail will grow back. Now, if you read this particular sentence, all of the lizards' tails grow back. That means I'm talking about plural. My subject is plural. The lizards. That's the reason it's after the S.
Okay, got it.
Okay, shall we begin with this? Any other doubt?
C5, parenthesis.
Parenthesis is basically when we are attaching some extra additional information about the same. For example, I am stating the project has been closed, right? I'm informing this to my team now. Okay. Project, I name the project ABC has been closed, and in brackets, I'm mentioning post completion of module number XYZ. So here I'm attaching that extra additional information that all the modules were complete along with this particular module, and now we are closing the project. Okay. Or maybe I'm providing some clarity into it. Let's say I'm calling everybody for a meeting and I need to attach something specific. You're all invited, like when I schedule a Google Meet, I attach in brackets along with it. Please do carry your notepads and attend the meeting on laptop, because I am giving a specific reason there. Maybe because we would be doing some practical stuff there, or maybe we'd be coding something, or maybe we'd be decoding something kind of stuff, where I'm giving clarity to someone some extra additional information along with the basic information. So maybe other teammates are not aware about why they should be carrying a laptop or why they should be carrying a notepad and pen. That's the reason I'm attaching this additional clarification information. Like we usually receive these school circulars and these circulars from the government, etc. Like the school will remain closed on Thursday, in bracket the date they'd mentioned. Which Thursday is it? The second Thursday of the month, the fifth Thursday of the month, whatever they are mentioning there. Right. When we have circulars from the government, etc., like yesterday I was watching the news, there was CBSE and the High Court who were deciding on whether schools should be, whether parents should be giving full 100% fees when schools are running online or when coachings are running online. So that is where, when you're talking about modules and sub-modules under section ABC, subsection this, so all those subsections are also under the parenthesis, wherein we're talking about additional information attached. Clear?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Any other doubt, people? Now we're coming to the war of spellings, wherein we call it the war of spellings because we are in an era wherein we've studied during the school time the British English, but we are using currently the American English. And the reason for the same is that all softwares that we're using, maybe our laptops, our cell phones, etc., are all US made. So by default, the language is, US English. So let's see them quickly and let's tell how many of us use the English, US English, and how many of you us use the British one. And especially for center and meter, because these are like quite often used when it comes to English. How many of you are using the British one and how many of you are using the US one?
I use the British.
British.
Actually, I think I am using the both. Like for meter, I usually use British, and for center, I will use US.
Now here, when we're talking about these two spellings, you have to make sure any word ending with RE is going to be British and ER is going to be American.
Actually, Urvashi, in my understanding, I have been taught like center means like a building or a podium, and like TER US, and center RE, it means the middle.
The like the center of the circle or the center of the building, and center that this thing is also correct. But then when we are talking about these two spellings in specific, we're talking about spellings, not the meanings.
Okay.
So the spelling that way is US and that way is British.
Okay.
Okay, let's see the next one. And here, most of the people, 90%, with neighbor, color, and labor, I see the US spellings almost everywhere. Like proofreading has become such a task now because people, they're often into this particular zone of using the US one only. And even if we write that, the phone shows a red underline under it, or even the laptop.
I think, Urvashi, that would be the reason, because we don't write nowadays, we type, right? And Microsoft Suite is US tool, so everything is tailored to US English. So that's how it's.
You often get confused when it shows a red underline, that why is it showing a red underline? And then we have become so used to it, we just right click it and see the correct and then click on that one without checking what spelling is it showing us.
But should we be using only the British version?
Yes. And second thing, it also depends on the market you're writing for. So for example, maybe your clients or your customers are from the US, then obviously you'd be using only the US English, not the British English. And it's like, for the Britishers especially, like people in US are least bothered whatever you tell them, whatever you, however you write it to them. Understanding is must for them. But Britishers are quite close to their language. They take it as an offense if you're like even using the US dialect in your speech. And it becomes very difficult to converse with them. Like people in the US, they're more into the intonation, the speech category of understanding rather than the written category of understanding. But the Britishers are quite close to the language. That's the reason they want you to go a little bit slow, a little bit subtle when you only British market, no US market. Okay, coming to the next one, 𝐼𝐳𝐸 and 𝐼SE, wherein again 𝐼ZE is the US one and 𝐼SE is the British one. Clear? Any doubts here?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, if you remember, in the beginning of the session, I asked you to start reading one novel per week. How many of you are going ahead with it? Raise your hands. Not just novel, any kind of book, any kind of magazine. Okay, I see 2 hands up. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so is it people looking after each other and they're raising their hands? You have to be true to yourself. Okay, I see 12 hands up.
Actually, Urvashi, I think I have missed out that point.
Which one?
Like you have informed to read a novel. I was not aware of it, might because of my network, or I joined late. I don't know.
Okay, so you have to
I
make
will
sure.
start it today.
Yes. Now, the reason behind reading was to improve your vocabulary and to understand the styles. And you have to make sure that every week you are actually going ahead with something new. Something new as in, maybe you're reading science fiction week 1, maybe you're reading history the next week, maybe you're reading something else the next week, so on and so forth. The reason for the same is that if you go with something very similar every week, you'll not understand the tone, you'll not understand the styles in writing. Now, even vocabulary for that matter, when you read managerial stuff, the vocabulary is different. When you read political stuff, history, etc., the language is absolutely different. And this will actually improve your word bank as well. So when you collate, you start collating all these words together, these phrases together, and there's nothing that you have to sit with a dictionary. There's something called as contextual reading. Contextual reading is you read 2 lines above, you read 2 lines below, and you get to know the meaning of the word you're stuck with. And it's very obvious. It's the human brain tendency that you get to there's a word that's difficult for you to read, or maybe there's a word that's difficult for you to understand, you don't know the meaning of. When you read the lines above, you read the lines below, understanding the context of those lines, you get to know that this would be the meaning of the word. So you need not sit with a dictionary. Initially, you would need to sit with a dictionary because contextual understanding is something that doesn't come naturally. You have to improve and imbibe it into yourself. So I will be taking care of the vocabulary portion before we end the session today. Not today, module number 2. Let's come to the usage of words. These are some common words and homonyms and homophones that we might have learned sometime early in school. Like the bandage was wound around the wound. Spelling remains the same. The pronunciation is different. The farm was used to produce. One produces to make, and the second produces the crop. The dump was so full that it had to refuse more refuse. That means first refuse, wherein we are asking a big no, or we are saying a big no. And the second refuse is that it cannot take any more garbage. We must polish the polished furniture. The first polish is the furniture polish. The second polish is Poland, furniture made in Poland. The soldier decided to desert his desert in the desert. Now here, one spelling is different, pronunciation remains the same. Now if you see here, one desert is the sandy desert. Second desert is to leave alone. Third desert is the Swedish that we have. Since there is no time like the present, he thought it was time to present the present. Now here, present means current. Present also means a gift, and present also means the tense, the present tense. Please read these sentences and let me know if there's any doubt that anybody has.
No.
Sure, everybody?
Ma'am, first one, the bandage.
The bandage was wound around the wound. Means wound is rolled, and second wound is around the, we
Hurt.
call it, yes, the hurt.
Thank you.
Okay, let's read these also. They were too close to the door to close it. One close is the proximity you have with the object, and the second close is to shut it. A seamstress and a sewer fell into a sewer. The first one is the designation, we can call it, for a person, and or occupational designation, and the second one is the drainage that we are catering to. The wind was too strong to wind the sail. The first one is the air that blows, and the second one is to roll the sail. Upon seeing the tear in the painting, I shed a tear. So the first tear is a cut mark, and the second one is the tears that roll down from the eyes. When shot at, the dove dove into the bushes. The first one is the bird, and the second one is the flight. The dove means moved directly into. I did not object to the object. The first one is objection, and the second one is the object that we're talking about. The insurance was invalid for the invalid. First invalid is null and void. The second invalid is not appropriate. Please read the sentences and let me know if you have any doubt.
No doubts.
Sure, everybody read the sentences?
Yes,
The last one, insurance for
invalid for the invalid. First invalid is null and void, means it cannot be taken further. It's illegal. For the invalid means people who are not maybe of appropriate age, or people who are not legally bound for the same.
okay.
Oversee the second one, please.
A seamstress and a sewer?
Yes, yes.
So the first one is the designation of a person, organizational, like we have waiter, waitress. So this is kind of a designation. Fell into the sewer is the pothole, not the pothole, but the drainage.
All right.
Okay. Now we are going to, cater both to the online as well as the offline formats when it comes to writing. Till now, you've had a flavor of more of the online formats. I'm going to give you a flavor of the offline formats as well. But then today, offline formats have also come online. Every newspaper is e-newspaper now. Books are e-books now. Magazines are e-magazines, and brochures are e-brochures. So here, we're going to talk about all of these, but then we're going to talk more on the online format, online front, and a little less on the offline. It's not that we're not going to do them, we're going to do them, but we're going to do what the market demands are currently. Let's quickly see the sentence structures now, and why were you asked time and again to create short and crisp sentences? The reason is here. The first one says that sentences are little packages of words that put together your thoughts across to the reader. Grammatically speaking, in most cases, you'll be dealing with 4 basic types of sentences, which are: number 1, simple. Simple means very short, very crisp, to the point. It has one independent clause, a subject, and a verb. Like the sentence is, I hate my boss. The subject is clear here, I, hate is my verb, and who are we talking about here? The boss. So independent clause remains, I hate my boss. It contains a subject, which is I, verb, which is hate, and the expression is complete, the thought is complete. Please read this slide and let me know if you have any doubt or you're not able to understand.
No doubts.
Okay. Everybody else?
No doubt, ma'am.
No doubt.
Taking you to the second category is compound sentences. Now here, there are 2 independent clauses, and they're joined by coordinating conjunctions like and, so, or but. I hate my boss and he hates me too. I hate my boss, if I take it as a single sentence, is an independent clause. But the conjunction used here and is joining it with another independent clause, he hates me too. So here we are talking about two independent clauses and they're joined by and, which is a connector or a conjunction. The third category is complex sentences. Now here it has a subordinate clause and an independent clause. Independent clause means something that is complete in itself. Subordinate clause means it's dependent on the independent clause. How? Let's read this sentence. I shouted because the credit card company executive on the other end of the phone was continuously misbehaving. So if you think of this sentence as a whole, I shouted because, now the reasoning is happening here. If I see I shouted, it's an independent clause. The credit card company executive on the other end of the phone was continuously misbehaving. Can we shorten this sentence further? Any idea as to how we can make it more short and crisp? No? Can we shorten this sentence?
We can remove on the other end of the phone, maybe.
Yes. Because here, if we are adding on the other end of the phone, that is increasing my unnecessarily, making my sentence more elaborate. I shouted because the credit card company executive was continuously misbehaving. Now, where were they communicating? How was the communication happening? Can come in the next half of the sentence as well. But here, when we are talking about this particular sentence, it is essential for this one. Yes, Smita?
So, Urvashi, I have a question on the compound sentence. So, you mentioned about coordinating conjunction. So, is it necessary that coordinating conjunction is preceded by the punctuation? So, whenever we use and, but, so is a comma necessary?
No, that's not necessary. That comma is just when it's more important when you're speaking it, because that comma gives it a kind of pause. So when we have a full stop, that's kind of a 10 seconds pause, actually 5 seconds pause. And when there's a comma, that's like a 2-3 seconds pause there. So
Okay.
I have one complete sentence there. I hate my boss, a little pause, and he hates me too.
Okay. But if you're using it in a written format, you're saying the comma is not necessary.
Yes. That's basically, now here it was important to be placed because when I'm telling this to everybody, it's important for me to give the right pause at the right time.
Yeah.
Here, it's like first independent clause and then the second independent clause.
Okay, sure.
Okay, coming to the fourth category, which is compound complex, a mixture of compound plus complex sentences. So this has 3 or more clauses, 2 independent clauses, and at least 1 dependent clause. So here, when we're talking about clauses, let's see this example to understand. Even though I don't make much money, I'm happy. However, my kids are always complaining since we can't afford to buy the newest toys. Now, independent clause, I'm happy, and my kids are always complaining. This is dependent on even though I don't make much money, since we can't afford to buy the newest toys. And the linking word here is however. So if you read this, do you think that the sentence would have been better if it would have been broken into smaller sentences? Understandability, the readability would have increased? Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the reason it's said that you have to go for shorter and crisper sentences. Now, when you are reading it, you are making sure that you're reading it for the first time. So it's like quite difficult for you to gauge the entire context in one go. So if you break it into smaller halves, for your readers also, it's going to be very easy to, understand whatever you're writing and to pave their path through. Is there any doubt that you have in any of, the 4 kinds of sentences?
No, ma'am.
Urvashi, what would have been a simpler form of the previous sentence?
So even though I don't make much money, I'm happy, full stop. My kids are always complaining since or as we cannot afford to buy the newest toys. 2 sentences with full, depiction and meaning.
All right, yeah, thank you.
Okay, coming to the learning styles now. I would want you to open the previous, IPL homework that you all had done. There's going to be something that I'm going to talk about. Let me know once you're all ready. Okay, I see one person ready. Others, I'm still waiting. Yes, Rumana, ready?
Ready. Ready.
I'm ready. Ready, ma'am.
Ready.
All right. Now, whenever you are going to share any kind of content with anybody, you're going to make sure of these alignment things. Number one, make sure that the alignment is always justified. So when you go to the alignment option, there are 4 options. 1, left aligned, 2nd, center aligned, 3rd, right aligned, and 4th, which is justify. So all your content except for the major heading has to be in justify. I would ask one of you to share your screen so that everybody can see. Who's going to share the screen?
So I can share my screen, Urvashi.
Yes, please go ahead.
Oops.
Okay. Now, here, please make sure the heading is always in bold and center aligned. So, Smita, please make the heading bold and center aligned.
Oh, this is not my screen. Somebody else shared their screen.
Okay, sorry. Amreen, please make the heading bold and center aligned. Okay, now select the remaining content, the entire content, and make it justified. Yes, so that's the option of justify. Please bring your cursor there, Amreen, so that everybody can see. Justify means the ending or the closure of every sentence. The word falls one after the other. Okay. Next, please make sure about the.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you please repeat how to justify?
Where you go for alignment, where you went in for center alignment of the heading, just right to it is going to be justify option.
Okay, fine.
So, Urvashi, this rule applies to each format, every format of writing, be it blog, be it article, be it creative ones. Does it apply to every format?
It applies to every format that you're sharing with somebody. Sharing as in someone has asked you to write it and you're sharing it over Drive, you're sharing it over mail to someone.
Okay.
Whether that be a report, whether that be anything, any kind of write-up that you're sharing, because it changes the look and feel of the document.
Okay.
And the most commonly used font sizes and font styles are Arial, Times New Roman, and Calibri. So here, either of the 3 have to be used, Arial, until unless specified by the person who's demanding this content from you. So these are like universally used everywhere, whether you're sending it to the Indian market or to the international market. Next, your heading should always be either in size 15 or 16, and the remaining content should be in size 12 or 14. 12 at times becomes too small. That's the reason it's between 12 and 14. And the heading somewhere between 14 and 16. Please make sure that the heading and the text that you're writing inside is not of the same size. The heading has to be distinct. Clear?
So,
yes.
Urvashi, what are the 3 fonts you mentioned? Arial, Times New Roman. What was the third one?
Calibri.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this document is done. I would want you to open your proposals now. Let me know once done, once ready.
What are we
Ready.
What are we supposed to do?
The proposals is supposed to open.
Proposal. Okay.
Ready, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm ready, Urvashi.
Okay. Everybody waiting. Okay, you need to perform the same task here as well. You have to make sure that the alignment is supposed to be justified, except for the headings that you've written. Headings are supposed to be left aligned. The text that you've written is supposed to be justified. Next, you have to make sure that there is appropriate spacing between each option. For example, you've written objectives. After objectives, you've written plan of action or whatever you have written. There has to be a spacing of 1.5 between them.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Spacing of 1.5 between your text. Supposingly, you've written objectives. After objectives, your next heading is plan of action. So between objectives and plan of action, the spacing should be 1.5.
Thank you.
Urvashi, can you please explain once how to go about with the spacing between texts?
Sure. You please open your, share your screen.
Yeah, just okay. Can you see?
Yeah. Okay. So let's say that you have to give a spacing between date and rationale. So select the text from date till rationale.
Okay.
And then you go like the button right next to your alignment option.
This one?
Yes, one. This one.
Okay.
Click here. 1.5.
Okay. 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 Got it. Thank you.
Okay. So this kind of spacing has to be in between all the text types that you've created.
So you can simply select the entire document and select 1.5.
Line space between your bullets also.
Okay.
You're going to select the entire document.
Yeah.
Urvashi, should there be any spacing like this between the topics and the bullet points?
No. Yes, Shruti?
Actually, I'm very sorry, ma'am. The file in which I created my proposal got deleted by mistake, and even the email got deleted from my Gmail by mistake.
That will be there in your trash.
Let me just go and have a go. When
you open your emails, there's a bin option, trash option there.
Trash. No, it's not there even in the trash.
But the trash is there for approximately 30 days.
No, it's not there even there in the trash. It got deleted from the trash. It's got like permanently deleted by mistake.
Okay, you can do it on some other document then.
Okay, thank you.
Urvashi, are we supposed to submit this in the assignment link?
No, you're doing this like just to understand the alignments.
Okay, no, this proposal assignment,
Yes.
what we mailed you, right?
Yes.
That has to be submitted in the assignment link?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, are we done? Shall I move to the next step? Yeah.
I'm sorry. Also with the article, should we do the necessary changes and submit again the assignment?
No. That's alignment is just for your understanding. So next time onwards, whenever and whatever you are submitting has to come in this alignment. Okay, shall I move to the next step? Are you all done?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Let's quickly recapitulate the content in one go. First, when we are talking about a content, there are three broad categories that we have to look into: the introduction, the main body, and the conclusion. The introduction is wherein we are defining either the objectives or we are setting the plot, or that's an introduction that we are creating. The main body is discussion of the main points that we are going to include. Those include the WH points: what, why, when, where, and how. And we are also talking about the detailing of these what, why, when, where, and how, and also the transitions in them. Versus the conclusion, which is the third half. I'm not saying we have to write 3 paragraphs. I'm saying we have to divide the entire body into 3 segments. There can be multiple paragraphs under it. So the third segment is my conclusion, wherein we're talking about the key takeaways, or we're talking about the scope of the entire, or the summary of the entire piece. A conclusion is important because it summarizes my document. Whether that be an official document, technical document, academic document, or creative document, these 3 broad categories are going to remain common in all. I hope this is clear to everybody. Any doubt in this?
No, ma'am.
So with this, we have finished the first module, and I am taking you to the second one, out of which we've covered quite a few things here. Let me share so that we can see.
Also, I have some doubts regarding blogs in general.
Please ask.
So I have a question regarding we mentioned the source, right? But when I did not find anybody in any of those blogs mentioning source. So does it make
Source
us?
for images?
I'm sorry.
Source for images?
Yes, source for images. So
that falls directly under the subject of copyright. Any day, if supposedly I'm uploading an image and someone else is copying it without permission into his or her blog, I can sue him directly the same day.
Yeah, but does it make us unprofessional to use others' content or others' pictures?
Pictures can be used, content cannot be used. If you're mentioning or if you're referring to content, you can hyperlink it. That for more details, you can also visit and then here and then hyperlink it to the place you want people to visit. Let's assume we're talking about some scientific document, which let's say there are multiple definitions used there, and you want people to go through those definitions in case they're not aware about the same. So let's say you're talking about the definition of bacteria, virus, etc. So you're hyperlinking those words. Hyperlinking those words means you're redirecting them to the website where you want them to read the definition from. That doesn't mean you're copying it there. That does mean that you're simply sourcing it from there. The definitions are being sourced from there.
Okay. Also, most blogs seem, they are very short and crisp. So is that something that we need to, follow for a successful blog, that we need to always keep it short?
That actually depends upon the topic you're writing. There are multiple topics. See, when it's a personalized blog, there's no word limit to it. It's your word choice. It is your strategy, how short you want to create it, how long you want to create it. But definitely when it comes to content, any content that's too long and elaborated unnecessarily makes no sense to the readers.
Okay. So then what happens to like stories or something like that? Because
They're not blogs. Stories are actually printed, and the readers of stories are quite different than readers for blogs. Clear? Okay. Yes, Amreen?
Yes, ma'am, I want to ask about the soliloquy activity that we did the other day. Means exactly how are we going to use? How is it going to be useful for us?
When we're going to come to book writing, I'm going to tell you how proposals are going to be helpful for you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am?
Yes?
Today at the end of the class, could you explain about soliloquy once again for me? Actually, I was not able to understand properly.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have a question regarding the blog again. So while creating the blog, I just typed copyright-free images. So I used those images in the blog. So, but then each and every copyright image has a source under it, mentioned under it. So should I mention the same on the blog?
See, it's always advisable to do so because you never know that which company gets a copyright at what point in time. Maybe it's not under copyright today, but the company receives a copyright 5 years ahead. again it's going to hamper your writing again.
Okay. So it is always better to mention.
Absolutely.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, but what if like if we are using some different apps or softwares like PixArt or other apps over my phone and using my content and a statement and putting it on the picture and writing my name below it, then how do I source it?
If you're using it as a paid software means like even if you're using Canva, the paid version for it. So those images cannot be used by anybody else. So they're absolutely your images. You can download them, you can make them or arrange them the way you want.
Okay.
But if it's like a free version, that means if it's free for you, it's free for everybody in the world. If tomorrow someone else uses a similar image or the same image in his or her blog or in his or her write-up, there's no claiming that you can do that.
Okay.
Yes, Amreen? Still in question? Still in doubt? Okay. Any other doubt, people? All right. Now, beginning here with something that I want to share with you all. 1 second, I'll annotate. Okay. Did we do some kind of online search in module number 1 wherein we searched about Burj Khalifa being the tallest building in the world?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we did.
Did we go for Google advanced search option?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Did we search for Wolfram Alpha?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Did we do Grammarly, Ginger, and Hemingway?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then did we do some kind of blogging?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did we do logo software? Canva?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did we do website designing through Wix?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we're going to move to keyword planner. We're going to move to Google Analytics, Alexa Analytics. These analytics, we're not going to do them, but we're going to understand what these are. Analytics we're going to do on Wix. The reason is that the Wix analytics is free and Google and Alexa work exactly the same, but they are paid. So how do they work? What do we have to see under analytics is what we're going to do right now. Next, we're going to cover spinning softwares and article directories. Okay, so let's begin quickly. I would want you to open your Wix websites and let me know once you're done.
That's the edit page or the landing, the edit one?
The dashboard page.
Okay.
And I'd ask one of you to share your website also so that I can direct everybody else. Oh, I didn't hear Akshat today. So Akshat, I'll ask you to share.
Ma'am, where we are supposed
Should I share?
Okay, please go ahead. Okay, please tell people how did you reach here? How did you reach this place?
I'm sorry, I used manage.wix.com.
I hope everybody's reached this page.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. 3 yeses. Others?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, if you see towards the left, there's this option analytics and reports.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Please click on that option left, on the left.
Customize?
Left, left, left. Move towards the left, left, left. The black box appearing on the left.
Okay.
Below this, analytica. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so under analytics overview, you'll find traffic overview. What do you mean by traffic overview? Traffic overview means the number of people who have visited your website. It'll take some time to upload. Please wait. Okay, come and search for people first. Let's see people. Scroll down. No, the page towards the right. Is it for everybody it's coming blank?
Yes.
Is it showing some kind of a chart?
Yes, ma'am. It's coming blank for me also.
Okay, let's
Coming
come to
blank for me as well.
Let's come to reports.
I got a chart.
Urvashi, sorry. Actually, for me, it's not coming blank, but there are no charts either. So what I'm getting is new site members and active leads and all. So that is coming. Oh, I've got a chart also.
Yes, we'll come to that. It loads and it takes time. Let's come to the reports first.
Okay.
Okay, first we are seeing sales reports. Just scroll down the page. Okay, scroll down, come to traffic. Traffic over time, traffic by time of the day, traffic by first page viewed. Now here, all of you will get table once you click on the table option. So let's begin from the very first one. Traffic over time, let's click on the table. It'll take time to load. Click on the advanced view. It's supposed to show a chart.
Should I click on line chart?
Okay, try clicking on line chart. But first it's supposed to show a table. Could you refresh and check again?
Still nothing.
Is it for everybody that's still not showing the chart?
Blank. Yes, ma'am.
I got the chart.
Blank. Nothing for me.
Okay. How many of you got a chart? None? None of you got a chart?
Not yet.
Got it.
Okay. Hold on. Surya, I'll ask you to stop sharing. I'll share mine. Hold on.
I got a chart, Urvashi.
Okay, please share.
Can you see my screen?
Yes. Okay, scroll down. Now, if you see, the website was created somewhere around end of April and content over it was put maybe in the first week of May. So if you see that most of the people visited it between the 2nd of May and the 4th of May. Okay, let's go back. Just scroll back.
Okay.
And view the next chart. This chart will only be visible once people have visited your website or your blog.
Okay. So which chart should I open now?
Okay, you go for the next one. First page viewed. Third one.
Okay. It's loading. Yeah, here.
So it says that there were 10 viewers who viewed the first page only and left. Let's see the next one. Scroll down. And there was only one person who went ahead and read this page. Okay, let's go and see the other one. Let's go down. Let's see. By device, traffic by device. So there were 14 people who visited it through their desktop and 11 who visited this through their mobile device. Site sessions and unique visitors means they came in for the very first time. Site sessions means how many people visited the entire site through both of these devices. And if you see on the top, it also gives you a time period, that this is during this time period that this thing took place. So now I'd give you time to evaluate all of this. Is there still someone who cannot see any reports here?
So Urvashi, where is the time period? I can't see that.
Over the top left corner, it says traffic by device, and below that it gives you the time period. Top left, yeah, below this.
Okay. Okay, you mean the date basically.
Yes.
Is there a way can we see the time also when most people visited or something?
That's there as a subtopic if you scroll back.
Okay. Can I do that?
Yes. Okay, are there still people who cannot see any kind of report?
Yeah, I can't see anything.
Urvashi, even I can't see anything.
Yes, even I can't see anything.
For them, please share your link over the chat box, and please make sure you're visiting every link so that the process can begin. And then you'll have to close this, first refresh it, then close it, and then open it again. Then you'd be able to see these charts. Start sharing them over the over the chat box.
Urvashi ma'am?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, I've reached traffic overview where they're showing from April 7 to May 6. So here they are coming, there are 3 blocks which are coming, like total site sessions, 23, 16 unique visitors, average session duration, and then the chart as.
Yes, so here it says these many people visited during this period of time. Okay. And these many were unique visitors, means they came in for the very first time.
Okay.
And site visitors means they were on the Wix website and they came in and logged into your.
Okay. And the time duration means they were here for that much time.
Yes.
Okay.
Can I share my screen so you can help me once again?
Sure, please go ahead.
I was actually viewing it from my already existing website because I haven't exactly posted a lot on my the one I'm creating with the course. So can I share that?
Yes.
This is what it shows. It just loaded. So what am I supposed to do?
Okay, so now how are you supposed to evaluate this? This is the overall traffic overview. So if you see that total site sessions means people who were there on the website, they were 42%, unique visitors were 22, and average session duration means on an average a person spends around 11 minutes. 10 minutes, 57 seconds is approximately 11 minutes on your website. Now, if you see this, it's direct, Instagram, and other, post portals through which your website is being visited. So direct visits versus Instagram visits versus the other Wix NA and then Pinterest.com.
Should we share our sites in the chat box, in the Zoom chat box or the WhatsApp?
That's your call. I think Zoom chat box would be more preferable because everybody is here so they can start viewing it right away.
All right.
Okay, now you need to go back to analytics and reports again. Go to traffic. Okay, traffic you've seen. Sorry, go to people. So now you'd see how many unique visitors were there, how many people in the last 30 days. This time period is for the last 30 days that it's going to show you the reports for. So the highest visitors were on May 2. Maybe you had shared this particular link with people on the 2nd of May. So that counts for most number of people.
This is like, what does this show?
it shows the contacts versus the date. So the date is 2nd of May, over which the maximum contacts viewed your particular website.
All right. It's like to the ones who are sent the link.
Yes. Scroll down, you'll find further information.
That's it.
Okay, so spending customers and retention customers won't be there because it's not a sales website. Again, go to traffic. Traffic through source will also be there. Scroll down the entire page and evaluate. Let it load first. It's going to show you traffic by location as well, over which location you have maximum traffic from. So it's almost North India.
Yeah, that's where I live. So
scroll down further.
That's
okay. So here you can actually learn about your visitors or people who are finding or boost. So learn about people who visitors. The first one. Click on the first option.